The writer's life was lonely one, and that if he said his loneliness, his work would deteriorate. Said by the Nobel Prize winner Mr. Hemingway while receiving the award. Hello guys, this is Naina Jadhav here, and today I'll discuss about the novel Farewell to Arms by Mr. Hemingway. But before I go on talking about the novel, I would like to tell little bit about the writer and most importantly reason behind writing this novel Farewell to Arms. वो कहते हैं ना कि there is a story behind story, और कहानी के पीछे कोई ना कोई कहानी होती है. Hemingway was an American writer and son of doctor. He wanted to be an army man, but he was rejected because of his weak eyesight. After rejection, he was frustrated and went to Kansas City, where he found a job of a reporter. After some time, he found a new job as an ambulance driver in Italian front. While serving as an ambulance driver, he was injured and admitted in hospital, where he falls for Agnes, English nurse. But one day after receiving letter, he became ill because later revealed that Agnes had married another Italian major. After getting disappointment in love, he went to Paris to make living by his writing, where he met great literary figures like Ezra Pound, Gertrude Stein, James Joyce. Even though having help from those well-known literary names, he was not able to get success in his writing. He was rejected by all the editors. And one day he was talking to his friend about his failure, or we can say about his bad luck in writing. While talking, his friend observed that and he thought that you did not know misery and you did not suffer enough. And after listening all those words from his friend, he said that I did not know misery, and from that moment he decided to tell the world story of his lost love Agnes, and later story comes out in form of novel of Farewell to Arms, and this story about a great success for Hemingway. Now let's discuss the storyline of the novel. Basically, novel is divided into 5 books. In book 1, there is a meeting of Henry and Catherine. In book 2, there is a theme of love and growth of their relationship as they spend time together in hospital. In book 3, there is a theme of war as Henry returns to front. In book 4, Henry and Catherine reunite and they escape to Switzerland. In final and 5th book, Henry and Catherine lives happily and she gives birth to their child and she dies, leaving Henry alone, and the story has tragic end. Storyline of the story is like this, that Frederick Henry is an ambulance driver in Italian front during First World War. When he returns to front, he meets Catherine Berkeley, who is a love interest of his friend Rinaldi. But Rinaldi gave up on Catherine as Catherine and Henry comes to close. Here these two characters, Henry and Catherine, are wounded or broken souls, as she is broken by her fiance's death and Henry is wounded by the war. After getting injured on battlefield, Henry is admitted in hospital in Milan, where many doctors suggested him to rest for 6 months for better recovery. But Henry was not ready for such a long time period for recovery. but Dr. Valentini agrees to operate immediately. Here Henry comes to know about that Catherine transferred in Milan, and Henry starts recovering under her care. Here their relationship becomes more serious and their love for each other more deep. When Henry's leg healed, Italian army sent Henry to leave of 3 weeks, after which he is asked to rejoin the duty. Here Henry tries to go on trip with Catherine, but she revealed that she is pregnant. Later Henry diagnosed with jaundice disease, and here another character, Miss Campaign, accuses Henry of being sick through excessive drink. Here she thought that Henry is trying to escape from duty, so he sent him back to duty, and here Henry and Catherine separates with the promise that to keep loving each other with loyalty and devotion. Now Henry went to front when Italian army is not in good condition. On Henry's arrival, a bombardment begins. Henry leads his team, and army men pick up 2 engineers, surgeons and 2 frightened girls on their way. Henry and his team tries to reach faster by second way, and on the way one of the trucks gets down in mud, and Henry asks 2 engineers to help to free vehicle. But as they denies, Henry shoots one of them, and they travels again in other trucks. Here on the way, when one of the driver is shot, second one surrender himself, but Henry and rest of the drivers escape and get shelter in farm. On following day when they rejoin duty, soldiers and officers got angered by Italian defeat, and they command to execute them, and here Henry was the principal target among them. But Henry escapes and dives into river, and he reaches to Milan, where he reunites with Catherine, and they from here escape to Switzerland. And from now they decided to leave all those things behind them and forget about war. However, Henry feels sometimes guilty about his escape from the war. Now they start living happily in Montreux's town. When spring comes, they move to place which is near to hospital, as Catherine is about to give birth to their child. In the early morning, Catherine suffers from labor pain, and she gives birth to stillborn baby boy, and in the night she dies, leaving Henry alone. Henry stayed with Catherine till her last breath. Here Henry wanted to say goodbye to Catherine, but he couldn't, and now Henry stays alone, and he returns to his hotel in the rain. So this was the storyline of the novel Farewell to Arms. I hope guys I was able to make it explain in very easy manner. I hope you all like it. Thank you.